We've had quite a few people up here and give very interesting speeches today. On the street the other day, this bloke came up to me and he says, a lot of people agree with what you're doing, but it's your image, isn't it? And I said, what, this? Because I was dressed with my shirt and tie on and looking quite smart. I said, do you mean this image? He says, no, the other image. I says, well, what's that then? He says, well, the image. And he couldn't tell me what he meant, right? And I knew exactly what he meant. What he meant, right, was the image that the media portray us to have. That's what he meant, right? Now then, this is really, really interesting because he has this image of what we are. And what was stood in front of him that day is not what he perceived us to be as nationalists, whether you're yellow, brown, black or white, wherever you're from, as I mentioned earlier, right? So he got a different perception of what we are and what we're about because he was speaking to me. And he was having a sensible conversation with me. And when he left, he says, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, blah, 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 but again, it's about your image. So they can't seem to get their heads around it. He says, you need to scratch the surface a little bit deeper and see some of the things that we're doing in our communities and the campaigns that we're involved with. Because all these people are seeing, and this is really a lot to do with us as well, mind, all they're seeing is what the media want them to see, which is bad images and bad things that we do. The National Union of Journalists is not allowed to report favourably on us. It is in their constitution. They must write derogatory things or bad things about us, and they must also either write that or write neutral things. They can't say that we've done good things. I wrote a letter to my local rag the other day. It was about the schools being on strike, about the teachers. And I said, well, parents are fined when the kids are off school. Let's fine the school or the authority and give some money back to the parents. Right? Did they put my name on that letter? No, they didn't. Right? But I can tell you why they didn't. Because every single parent in that town would agree with me and that would give me support. So the media have wiped me off. And I've asked them, I says, why did you do that then? And they still haven't got back to me. But this is what we're up against. So the image is wrong. The image is wrong, or they perceive that it's wrong. It's up to us to change that. We can change that and we can make the difference by being out there, getting out there and talking to people. Right, Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson. Nick Griffin. Tommy Robinson, fly-by-night, little person, came along, 2-minute job, betrayed his people and sold them down the Swanee. Mr. Griffin, been into politics, been a nationalist since he was 12 years old. Stalwart, sticking with his people, out there in the rain, fighting for justice for Charlene. He's been at it for years and he'll continue for years. He will not sell his soul to the devil like Mr. Robinson's done. That's the difference between two people in the front. The media bulled up Mr. Robinson and look what happened to him. They're ignoring Mr. Griffin at the moment, so we need to get behind him and behind his campaigns and make sure they're successful by getting out there on the streets. Hate. Who do I hate? Who do I hate? I'll tell you who I hate. I'll tell you exactly who I hate. There's a lot of hatred in me, and the hatred is not for foreigners. It's not for Muslims. It's not for blacks. It's not for Jews. I hate my own people who have yellow streaks down their backs and cannot stand up for themselves. That is who I hate. I hate them, and I hate the politicians in our town hall. Because every time they look at me, they can't look me in the eye because they know that I am who they want to be. And I'm not going to be like them, and I'm not going to kowtow. And neither should you folks. We should all stand up, we should stand united, and we should be strong. So I hate them people. I hate the BBC. I hate those people who'll stab us in the back. They'll smile in your face and stab you right in the back. They did it with Karen the other day. These people are low-life scum. Low-life scum. And they pontificate and they turn the nose up at you when you offer them a leaflet. And you think, if only you knew. You're being ethnically cleansed out of your homeland. That is genocide. It's against it is against the law. Genocide, ethnically cleansed from your homeland, it's happening all the time. The odd one here, the odd one there. Who can blame them? They're trying to make a better life for themselves. You do the same. If I said to you, right, there's a country over there. If you go there, you get loads of stuff for now. You'd be like, woo, and you'd be away. So you can't blame them for that. Who I blame and who I hate is people like Cabbage Patch Cameron, Yellow Clegg, and the Marxist Miliband. That's the people I hate, because they are supposed to be us, but they're not. They're selling us and they're giving us away, and they are making slaves of us in our own country. So those are the people I hate. It's as simple as that. There's a lot of hatred. Lee Rigby. What's going on there? His alleged murderers. I'm saying alleged. They're pleading not guilty, right? Lee Rigby, because sometimes I often think that I'm living in an alternative universe, because I see these things and I think, that's not happening in my country. My grandfather didn't go away and die in a war for that. He didn't, right? My grandfather went away and he fought for a country to be great. He didn't fight for a country where some tribal African person who's an Islamist can hack the head off a British soldier in broad daylight.
Outside of school.
That actually happened, and I have to pull myself back sometimes and think, hang on, did that really happen? Did it happen? And the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, this is becoming the norm. And it's happening on a daily basis, these things. And this is total and utter Marxism, because it's becoming accepted as being the norm. Somebody else will have their head hacked off soon, I'll guarantee it. And then somebody else and somebody else. It's just like once upon a time on the front pages of the newspapers, somebody was murdered and it was like, oh, shock horror, somebody's murdered. Somebody's murdered almost every minute now in this country. So people have accepted it as being normal. But what we shouldn't do is we shouldn't accept it as being normal. As nationalists, we should stand back and think, right, no, it's not normal behaviour to hack the head off a serving British soldier in daylight in the middle of our capital city. So it's not normal at all. But who's letting it happen? It gets back to it, doesn't it? The hatred thing. Those people there in Westminster, swanning about, thinking they're clever, lording over us, going back to their houses behind their huge gates, while the rest of us have to struggle on in the multicultural shithole that they've created for us. Very simple answers to what are perceived as being very difficult problems. It's not difficult. All the time we hear about the education system and how it's messed up. All the time we hear about the NHS, how that's messed up. And it's regurgitated all the time. You've got the three main parties pretending to be in opposition. No, they're not. You couldn't put a cigarette paper between their policies. They all believe in being in the EU. They all believe in being engaged in foreign wars. They all believe in an international health service. They all believe in giving billions of pounds away in foreign aid. It's utter rubbish. They're not in opposition at all. There's only one main opposition in this country, and it's the British National Party. So let's get out there, folks. In Europe, the right is on the rise. The left has had their time and they've proven to be absolutely useless wet lettuces. They're no good at what they're doing. They're pathetic. They've ruined us and they're trying to break us as a people. We will not have them break us. We will get out there and we will spread the message. Tony said we can do it. We don't need to shout at walls. We don't need to get violent. We just need to communicate with our people. Our people are lost and we need to offer them hope. We can offer them hope. Youngsters nowadays haven't got a clue. They go to school, they're indoctrinated, they leave school and they can hardly read and write. We've got a lost education. We need a throwback to basics. And it's up to us to get out there and spread the message, like we've done today. So what do we do then? We get involved with little things like today. We get writing our letters. We get putting our leaflets out. We go on the train. We take a handful of leaflets. We put them down the train. We turn back and we look at people reading them on the train. We leave them at bus stations. We leave them in the post office, whatever. We give them to people. We go out and put them through the doors. And we slowly wake up our people. Our people are sleeping. They are sleepwalking into their own oblivion. Yeah. And if they don't wake up soon, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to sharply find that they are an ethnic minority in their own country. Already are in certain parts of this country. Another problem that is very easy to solve. You get a government in power that's got some big balls and they just say, right, halal slaughter, stop it. If you don't like it, go somewhere where it's allowed. We're not allowing it anymore in this country. There you go, simple. And what you do is you use the police force, and if people aren't happy, you do exactly the same as what they've done to us today. You round them up like cattle and you send them away. It's as simple as that. It's not difficult. Not difficult at all. You stop giving £12.6 billion a year away in foreign aid. You stop it. Simple as that. And you give it to people who need it. Our people. Simple. Very simple answers. So the right is on the rise in Europe. And we need to make sure that England and Great Britain is part of that. And we need to get out and we need to do stuff, folks. And it's up to us. It's not difficult. Get involved. We have a dispatch office. You phone up. Hello, could I have some leaflets, please? Yes. What's your address? Da-di-da-di-da-di-da. They'll be with you in 2 days. It's as simple as that. Simple. So everybody can do something. Please get involved. Doesn't matter who you are. Spread the word. Spread the word. Get on your social network sites. Get out on the streets. Speak to people. Communicate with folks. And let's make Great Britain a damn sight better than what it is today, because I'll tell you something now, we deserve better. And as we move into Remembrance Sunday, we must remember those who went before us. And if we don't, lest we forget, this country will turn in a very short space of time, and indeed it is turning in a short period of time, into an absolute mess. And it's up to us to sort it out. So please, ladies and gentlemen, get behind your local organiser. If you haven't got an organiser, it doesn't matter. Organise yourself and let's put the great back into Britain. Thank you.